Today's topic. We talk about times in your journey where you feel like you can't breathe, right? They call it air hunger. That's what they call it. I didn't even know it was. I didn't know what air hunger was for the longest time. While I had, I guess, air hunger. Just like most of the labels, I knew maybe half, maybe a quarter, maybe a quarter of the labels. I didn't, right? Because remember, I had two different perfect storms, different times, and with the first perfect storm, the internet wasn't really talking too much about mind body stuff, and so the way I got by was just describing what I felt, and so I knew a lot of this stuff. Also, the toxic rabbit holes of Facebook and all the terms, but then eventually you forget, right? When you go through this journey, you eventually forget. When you recover, I should say, you actually forget half of what you've experienced in this journey. You have to sit down and think, okay, what was that like? Oh, now it's coming back. And then you kind of relive it, and then you can talk from your experience. But it's true. The more when you recover, the brain goes like, we don't need this anymore. We've processed everything. We emptied our allostatic loads. We turned off the alarms. There's no threat anymore. There's no more likers. Now we're gonna move on. And then you forget. It's interesting when you're in it. That's all you can think about. You can never imagine that you'll never not think about the what if thoughts of this symptom or thought or feeling or whatever. You can't imagine it when you're in the thick of it. It's impossible. But you will. The more you do the work every day, you stay consistent. When you cross that finish line, right, so to speak, when you get to recovery, eventually you'll get to a point where you won't think about symptoms. It's true. It really does happen. So yeah, today we're talking about my experience when I dealt with air hunger, or what I used to call I can't fucking breathe. What the hell's going on? Right? That's what I called it. How many times did I go to the emergency room? I didn't go to a doctor. That's not fast enough. No, no, no. This is one of the types of symptoms that gets your attention, where you think, all right, this is it. I'm gonna die now. I'm getting ready. I'm gonna say my goodbyes. Right. That, along with you get a little bit of derealization, act a little bit of add a sprinkle of dizziness. It You think that's it. I'm transitioning. Right, and it can mimic. It's you watch a lot of CSI, a little bit of House, so it mimics things that you might have that you don't, but you think you do, right? With CSI and House, where he'll be talking about a symptom, right? And then it'll zoom into a graphic of an artery and a blood clot going through it and swimming through it, right? And then you can see, all of a sudden the heart's like, right, and it gets blocked, and the guy goes ah, right. That's what you think every time these symptoms pop up. So of course your brain latches on and creates the worst case scenario, right? And the what if thoughts are just crazy, and the OCD looping thoughts are just, it's on it, and the doubt, it's on it, and you feel like, no, this is different, this is real, this can't be anything, this cannot be mind body, there's no way, it's impossible. Just making sure everything right. This can't be mind body. This seems so, it's screaming danger. There's something really. But believe me, this is what I always say. I always say this. And I should have a disclaimer at the bottom. This is because this is what I did. Always go get checked. Right? Go get checked. Do it. Do it. Not so much because you're going to find something. But get checked once. Have a physical. Especially if you're dealing with 75 symptoms, go get it checked out. Get everything. Go, oh my God, I'm feeling like, right? I remember that there was a point they were taking 32 vials of blood. I was like, is that safe? Am I going to pass out? That's a lot of blood. Is that? Oh no, we do that a lot of the time. Now, yeah, but 32 is a lot, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, do you have enough? Should I eat a fucking Snickers or something? Uh, did all the tests, nerve tests, MRI tests, right? CT scans. Yeah, CT scans also. And X-rays and, how many times did I go, okay, and then they tell you, I got checked, nothing's wrong, but I still went. Because these symptoms feel so dangerous. They feel like something's going to burst. Something burst already, probably a half an hour ago when I was sleeping, and now, right, it's just going to be a chain reaction in the system, right? And this labored breathing that I'm having, right? Your brain goes, ugh, right? Maybe there's a blood clot. Maybe there's a right? You can't help but go there. How many times did I slip and not follow the rules after I find the mind body space, right? I did all the research. I did all the wrong things. I tried to fix like all the things, took all the supplements, all the protocols, all the detoxes, trying to heal my gut bullshit. Right? Try to fix my leaky gut bullshit. Try to fix my biome bullshit. Detoxing bullshit. Eventually you find the mind body space. Okay. It doesn't mean just because you find the mind body space, just because you started, it doesn't mean you're not going to slip. So I had what I felt, my sensations were, they shifted and they were a little different. So I had a bit of a rainbow of different breathing issues that were scary. So, and I overcame all of them. I'm fully recovered. I do not deal with these anymore. Just to give you that reassurance and give your brain that evidence that it needs so it can listen to what I'm going to say without being triggered, right? Create some safety while I talk about this. So I felt like there was times, and add in tachycardia, right? That adds lots of realness to this danger feeling, right? Tachycardia, and then also when your heart gets palpitations, add that in there, right? Right? And then you get this labored breathing issue where you feel like, where you're focusing on your breath, you're focusing on getting oxygen, you feel like you're not getting enough oxygen. You feel like you're suffocating. You feel like there's times where I felt like there was an elephant sitting on my chest. It felt like my, this is my lungs breathing normally. It felt like it was this thin, this small, this thin. Not enough. How can air suffocation, right? This is what I'm talking about when I felt like I was underwater, literally underwater, with the OCD looping thoughts going, this is real danger. You're gonna transition, but if you don't die, this is never gonna go away. You're gonna be one of those people with an oxygen tank, right? This is not gonna go away. And it plays, right? So then you think, okay, maybe I have like this health problem. This maybe my heart is not. I'm not getting enough of the right. Maybe there's something blocked, an artery, right? So the brain goes there, right? Plus you got a little bit of the chronic fatigue. Add that in there. You can barely go from here to the kitchen without going. You felt like you just ran 5 kilometers. You feel like you're in a 95-year-old body. So the thoughts are going to latch onto you easily going, yo, listen, look at this. Look at all the evidence here. There's something going on there. Right? You're about to shut down. So I slipped, right? I would go to the I think I probably got this air thing checked out because it related to my heart. So I get my heart checked, right? And because I thought that there's nothing else. It's got to be the heart, right? And they would say, well, why don't we take an x-ray? I'm like, no, don't take an x-ray. You're wasting your time. Well, maybe you got some virus, some viral infection. No, does that sound right? I don't want to have an x-ray. So usually what happens is you get in there, they check your weight. Right? I already knew this already. Okay, where's the weight? Where's the scale? All right, let's go. Right? The the nurse loved me because all the nurses, well, they hated me because I'm always there, but then they loved me because they made the process really quick. I'm like, all right, let's go. Oxygen, let's go. Put the thing on. Put the thing on. All right. Put my finger in the reader. Okay. What does it say? Okay, well, heart rate's up. Yeah, well, because I'm freaking out. Yeah, that's normal. That was like that yesterday when I was here doing the same shit, right? Oh, we're going to have to check your heart. So they put these, like, all right, no, that one goes here. Man, that was, okay. Oh, you were going to put it there. Sorry, then, all right. Okay, this one's not plugged in. Okay, right? And they're cold, right? And you're used to that already because you've done this 1,000 fucking times. They check and they're like, okay, we're done. So they take all the, I'm like, well, what was it? Oh, it's, I don't see anything, but your doctor's going to talk to you about that. Okay. So I'm like, okay, well, she's not telling me everything because she's not going to tell me anything, but the sound of it, I'm good. So I'm like, what is everything? So what is everything? So I'm a little intrusive. Is everything normal? Yeah, it looks fine to me, but your doctor's going to talk to you about that. The doctor's going to come and talk to you about that. So just sit tight, put your head between your legs and just breathe, and um, there'll be somebody with you soon. Okay? Okay? Okay. Fuck. So when that happened, my anxiety went down probably 50%. Plus, I've already had this checked probably 3 times that month already. Right? And it got me. It got me. Again. I got sucked in and I fell for it and I failed. Okay. But I say, get checked. Get checked anyway. Right? Oh, by the way, I know I'm a little early today. Some shit came up. There won't be any dancing today. We're going to reschedule that this week. Anyway, so what was I saying? So I say, get checked anyway. Because you're going to need it to build that history, to lean in. But eventually, this is just temporary. This is kind of giving you that that reassurance that you need. You cross your I's, you dot your T's, right? But this is your starting point. This is where you start building your platform of that leverage of indifference that you will start to build, right? We got to start building it. If you want to get to a point where you're indifferent to your symptoms, where you don't care, where they're your friends, where you actually love them, and when you're actually at a point where you're asking for more of them, if you want to get to that, you got to start. And you start by having the freakouts. Yeah, let's be honest. Right? Start by having the freakouts, get them out of the way, because this is how you meet and become friends with the symptom. Symptom comes, hey, how's it going? I'm gonna freak out. My doubt's gonna be here. My what if thoughts. I'm gonna catastrophize while I'm eating catastrophize, right? So I'm going through the stages. The first stage is freak out, catastrophize. I'm gonna go to the hospital, get my my T's crossed and the I's dotted, and make sure everything's good. And then okay, and I'm gonna slip a couple of times. I'm gonna try my best not to go back because they're sick and tired of me because I'm wasting time. Because other people that really need to be at the hospital get serious things checked out, I might be taking their space. So I'm gonna start challenging myself to allow it and be friends with it and have no answers, because that's what happens, right? The brain goes, we're in danger, we need to have answers now, right? We're in fight or flight, we're in danger, you need safety, we need to know now, right? It needs to have certainty right this second, because certainty equals safety. But you're going to start challenging yourself to be in limbo land with no answers, right? You need to challenge yourself, because what do? People with health anxiety, especially when you're dealing with 75 symptoms, what do? We body check, right? We body check. We check our heart rate. right? We check our blood pressure, right? What else? Our temperature, right? And other parts of our body. So you got to start not doing that. And it's one of those things where there's no real secret to it. You just got to stop. Just like you got to start stopping going to the hospital 18 times a month, right? I was there 3 times a week, it seemed. There's many times that I was. I had to get rid of the thermometers. I had 3 of them. One in my car, one beside my bed, one in my pocket. Right? I had to stop going in the washroom, body checking, so that nobody knew I was doing it, and I was doing it in secret because I didn't want people to get annoyed with me and think that I'm losing my fucking mind when I was. So you start body checking in secret, right? You start telling your wife, "Yeah, I'm gonna get some eggs. We got like 5 cartons of eggs. We don't need any more eggs." Okay, well, um, what do we need? We don't need anything. All right. Oh shit! I see. Okay, we need some deli meat. I think I want to. Well, I want to make a cordon bleu. Okay, so all right. Do you need anything? No. Do you need a coffee? Okay, yeah, I'll get a coffee. Okay, so you find any excuse to get the hell out. So you go to the grocery store to check your blood pressure, to body check, right? So they don't see you because you're doing it in secret. You're like this secret drug addict when it comes to reassurance. You're a reassurance junkie, right? So you're checking your, they have these little things that check your oxygen levels, or you figure it's better to do that than to fucking go to the hospital every time, because the wait line is too long, and I don't want to. But then I don't want to ruin my weekend because I'm in limbo land, freaking out. So I got to make a call. I want to get this. I want to enjoy my weekend. So I did that. I would weigh the options. I'd be like, let's just go to the hospital, get it done, and then I'll be in reassurance. And I had to stop doing that. Right? This is what you guys got to stop doing. Stop being a reassurance junkie. So, okay, you start doing that. You start challenging. You start allowing. And you stick to your schedule. Here's the thing. This is when the pillars come in. This is why having a program with steps and doing the work is very important, because it covers all the aspects that you're going to be dealing with during this journey of recovery. Because if you don't have any guidance, when you're lost at sea, you don't have that lighthouse to bring you back and ground you, you're going to be, right? You're just going to be like, floating around, getting sucked in by the alarms and being hijacked constantly, and you're not going to move forward. You're going to be stuck trying to live life in a world of chaos, chaotic symptoms that are hijacking you, and you're not moving. You're stuck. Right? So the air hunger is just like any other symptoms. You treat it the same. You allow it to be there, and you engage in your schedule and bring it with you. You have a couple of your freakouts. This is your permission slip. Have a couple of the freakouts. Go get checked. Right? You should be checking out everything anyway to have that thing. To go, okay, I got checked. Oh, now I'm not gonna keep getting checked. I'm not gonna keep going like Helmut did 3 times a week. I gotta stop, make a call. Right? I'm gonna call it and go, that's it. I'm sick and tired of controlling everything. I'm gonna surrender and allow everything to be there, but I'm gonna follow my schedule. I'm gonna do my visuals. I'm gonna elevate. I'm gonna be aware of all behavior patterns, of analyzing my symptoms, researching. Right? No more of that. No more. Right? Researching, trying to figure out, trying to analyze, trying to get rid of. Right? We're going to allow it to be there. Let it do its thing. But you're going to engage in your schedule. You're going to go to the grocery store. You got to get lettuce. You got to get ground beef. Focus on the ground beef, right? We're allowing it, the what if thoughts. Yeah, but you could be dying in the grocery store because I think this is a hard thing. I think, yeah, well, we got to check. We're going to allow it. Okay, you think that. You're probably right? I probably am going to keel over in aisle 5 where the beans are, right? Let's make it happen. And you're going to feel like that. You're going to be in the aisle, right? You're going to be like, oh, fuck, I got to have an exit plan. I got to get, the hospital is literally 5 minutes away. If I leave now, maybe I should tell a cashier. Maybe, there's a guy walking by. He's walking this way. Maybe you should tell him. Can you call it? Can you call an ambulance? Can you call? I think I'm having a heart attack. Something's happening. I don't know. Right? You're playing this in your head. He's walking by you, and he keeps walking by. You're like, fuck! I missed my chance. I can't chase him. If I chase him, that's gonna put too much stress on my system, and I won't be able to keep up. Shit! This is where you gotta fucking give your head a shake for a second, right? And go, okay, listen. You're having one of those freakouts again. What happened every other time? You freaked out and you went to the hospital. People crowded around you. They called that ambulance at one time at the grocery. Remember that? Nothing happened. So this is like the 20th time now? Maybe let's go against the grain. Let's go against the grain. Let's sit in 1000% trust. Right? Let's see what happens. Let's call it bluff. Let's call it bullshit and allow. And engage into the routine. We're supposed to get beans. So get the fucking beans. Go to the fucking checkout and go to the car. Normally, I would say, go to the longest checkout. Talk to somebody. Drag it out. Walk around the grocery store again. Then go to the car. But when you're in a crisis like this, the first 3 times, you're not going to do that right away. Let's be real, right? So just do it. Get yourself in order to get the fucking shit paid for. You might be in survival state. Use your survival methods. Use a little, white knuckle a little bit. Go, fuck, let's pay. Why is this fucking, why is this chip is not, beep, beep. Sir, you have to hold it there for longer than 3 seconds. Why? Just, sir. Right? And you're like, okay, you're going to have to put the card in. Right? Okay. Right? That's fine. I get it. You're human. Right? You want to run to the car. Okay. So you go, you fucking run to the car, you're sitting there, right? This is you're just getting into the allowing. You're getting into sticking to your schedule, right? The next time you go, you try to go slower. You try to allow it more. You stick to your schedule. You do your visuals. You're elevating, being aware of all behavior patterns, sticking to your schedule. What else is there, right? We prepare. We create a bubble. We commit 1000%, right? And then we allow throughout the whole day. So you allow what you can. You build that leverage over time when you're doing the work slowly. And the thing is, you need more of that air hunger. Just like you need more of the XYZ symptom. Whatever it is, we need more of it. We need it to come back in and out 1,000 times. You need it. Without it, you can't move forward. Do you see how that works? So thank God we got it. Good. Because it becomes an opportunity for you to update the alarm system when you have the symptom there. And that's how you also build leverage of indifference over time if you have that symptom come back. When it comes back, okay, I know what to do. I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm going to change my response. I don't like it. I'm going to go engage in my routine schedule, and it goes away. Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah. I know I'm giving a message that I'm safe right now. From what? From danger. Okay, I'm going to work on that. And then it comes back. Oh, okay, you're here again. You went the last time. So, okay, I think I'm going to work through you a little bit. So, like the 20th time, oh, you again. Ah, yeah. So, the 50th time, whatever. Actually, give me some more. You know what? I actually like that you're here because I'd rather have you here because I know you're going to leave compared to that new symptom that just started. This crazy symptom of my baby finger going numb for what the hell is that? What does that mean? Please give me air hunger. Please. Right? And you're going to get to a point where you get it, where you can't breathe, and you're like, oh my, this is hilarious. I know you're trying to get my attention, but eventually this alarm symptom is going to be turned off, and you're going to have to get my attention in another way. And I'll give you credit. This used to work very well. But now we're getting to a point where I'm almost turning it off, right? Where I would lean into the air hunger. I'd be like, oh, we're going for a walk around the block, right? We're going to walk hard, right? And I'd be like, I'm like, yeah, more. Let's walk harder. Let's walk harder. Come on, lean into it. Go against the grain. Prime time. This is prime time, right? We're going to pounce on this symptom. Like, right? You're the liger on this symptom. You're right? Air hunger, yeah, but give me more of it. I need some more of it. I'm hungry. The air hunger feeds the beast. Need more of that, right? You consume it. You absorb it. You picture it as a piece of symptom flesh, right? And you're like, All right, we're gonna go walk. We're gonna walk hard. We're gonna walk hard. Right? That's how I used to treat it. Then eventually it would f off, and it would come back maybe 6 months later, because that's when it's able to give me doubt again for a little bit. But then I go, I know I've experienced you before, but I almost forgot about you. But I know I've experienced you before. But why does it seem scary? I've had this. Why is it? Maybe it's something. Maybe I'm special. Maybe it is something serious. I'm second guessing. You became a part of my furniture. You became my friend. I've had history with you. I built history. You lived with me for, what was it, a year. I had you come in and out 50,000 times. And then you went away. And now you're back? Yeah, I know you. Yeah, you're allowed to be here. Actually, I want you to be here for the whole week. How about that? That's what's going to happen. You're going to gain the confidence because you built history. And it'll go away as a consequence. And you won't force it out. You won't try to breath work it away. Right? You won't try to fix it, analyze it, get rid of it. You're going to invite it in. And it's interesting. Today I saw Sam released a video. Go check it out. She goes more analytical. She talks more about the emotional part of it. Why we get the heavy air hunger. Right? Where you can't get that that you can't get the relief of having a full breath, right? You feel like you're suffocating. You feel like you're underneath the water just long enough, right? Just to get air again, right? She talks about it. And that's how I felt. I felt like that with my OCD looping thoughts, but I also felt like that with my tight chest. Also stabbing pains in my chest, and then I can't seem to get a breath of air. And you know what it felt like, and I've said this before. It felt like, okay, I got some air in, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to get air in again. How am I going to survive the next 3 seconds? Oh, 3 seconds are up. Here I go again. I need to get air. Okay, I did it. Okay, that doesn't feel right. That's not enough. I need more. 3 seconds. Okay, I got it. Right? So it's constantly, you're underwater. I need air. Okay, I got it. Okay, to what next? I gotta breathe again. In 3, it's 3, 2, 1. Right? You're so focused on the symptom. You're surviving through the symptom, which puts you more in a survival state. Right? So you're at 1,000 already. The brain sends you the symptom to get your attention because you're in danger, right? Your allostatic loads are full, and we're doing our best. We're doing the work to empty our allostatic load, drip by drip, not forcing anything. And we're doing the work with the visuals, the elevating, right? We're doing the walk and talks, getting out in nature. We're starting to bring this down slowly, right? But the brain's still got to send you alarms because you're not out of the woods yet. Okay. So you do your best. You become friends with it. But the last thing you do, right, don't get a device to check your oxygen. Just like you don't get a device to check your temperature, your blood pressure, your heart rate. Like, because that, especially with somebody who's dealing with 75 symptoms and health anxiety, most people, 99% of the people dealing with these 75 symptoms that are in the mind-body space, where you're making exorcisms jealous, you got some health anxiety, right? The OCD loves it, and the doubt, right? They all work together. The health anxiety, doubt, right? The symptoms and the what if thoughts, catastrophizing. They are a magical team to make you scan for danger and look for the safety while being in the danger, right? That's its job, and it's doing it really well. It's working perfectly, but don't get sucked into it, and don't feed it by getting some of these devices, right? And telling somebody, this is where it just happened today, where I saw on my feed one of the big gurus in the mind-body space talking about air hunger, which is weird because Sam released a video about air hunger, and then that person released a video about air hunger, and then I was like, that's a coincidence. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe we gotta call out some of the bullshit, and I'm sure I'll get some hate for it. I don't care. right? Because it needs to happen, because you're literally dropping a bomb in somebody's nervous system by giving them bullshit advice, by telling them to use a device. And nobody's going to use the device sparingly with it a good balance. Yeah, try that, right? Just get a device to check your heart. Only once in a while here, okay? Make sure you check your temperature only once in a while. You think that's going to happen? It's like telling a crackhead, "Hey, listen, you can only have one hit a week. That's it. There's a bag right over there that's supposed to be a supply for 3 years. I'm just going to give it to you now. So take care of it, put it on the shelf. But you can only have one hit a week. That's it. Deal?" Right? The crackhead is going to fucking eat that shit up within that week. It's going to be all gone. Right? That's what it's like when you're a reassurance junkie dealing with health anxiety. Do you think it's a good idea to have all these devices to check, body check? Right? That's putting gasoline, barrels of gasoline on 18 fires. That's like an ocean liner with barrels of gasoline being poured on maybe one fire. Do you think that's a good idea? Right? Here is me going to the hospital 3 times a week, and I was checking my pendulum 50 times a day, researching, freaking out, looking for reassurance constantly, checking my heart rate, temperature, blood pressure. If I had a device to check my my oxygen all the time, or to check other things, they have one of these devices now where you can put you can check your heart. It's not like the hospital, but yeah, you put your finger in it, checks your heart. That would have been a nightmare. So to have one of these gurus go, yeah, just get one of these devices. They know they should know better, but maybe they don't, because they've never experienced air hunger, and they're giving advice. Well, no wonder why they don't like talking about symptoms, because they never experienced it. And then people tune in and they go, okay, I need a device to just to check once in a while. Yeah, I'm going to check it 18 times a day. Yeah, right, 18 times a day, like 18 times an hour. So don't do that. Our goal is to build that leverage of indifference, become friends with it, take away the danger of it. All you're doing is you're reaffirming, you're making a relationship of danger to that symptom and trying to get rid of it by analyzing it. So it's going to stay. It's going to become a fucking problem. It's going to be one of those symptoms that's going to latch on for a long time, because it's able to do its job. It's getting your attention constantly, your focus constantly. That's its job. Our goal is to have you become indifferent so it turns that alarm off, so it's gone. And yeah, it'll replace it with a new symptom. Okay. But not to build a relationship with it that's caused from, that has fear injected into it. That's going to make it a long-term problem. Right? With any symptom that people have had issues with for years, it's not because they have issues with that symptom. It's because of the relationship that they've built over the years with that symptom, the way they've reprogrammed it. They told the symptom, stay. You program that in there. Right? Go with all the testing that you do. Yeah, I have this lump in my throat, so I had this scope going down, and then I had, then they checked, they did a biopsy, and then I had like tension in here, and then right? When a person keeps trying to figure out, analyzing, using devices, now they start to build a history with this alarm, and the alarm becomes a problem that they can't shake. Let's not get to that point, because we all know that we can get there very easy. I'm sure we have many times already. So let's not do that again, because our goal is to bring that survival state down, not fuel it, right? Because the more the survival state stays up here, the more symptoms you're going to get, the more alarms you're going to get, the more you're going to feel like you're in hell and not moving forward and being stuck. And don't try to fix it by doing breath work. You're trying to get rid of the symptom. You're trying to fix it. Why? Because you think, I got air hunger. Oh, the best thing to do is, air, breath, work. Yeah. Why don't we just do some breath work? I wouldn't recommend, and Sam says the same thing. Don't do any breath work if you're dysregulated. That's actually, again, putting gasoline on the fire. And that's you trying to fix it. Just breathe normal. Breathe normal. Don't analyze your breath. Leave it alone. Engage in your schedule. This is your lifeline. See, this is why steps are important. This is why programs are. A lot of TMS people don't. It's a bad word, right? Programs, steps, pillars. Now just live life with the symptoms, right? That doesn't work. Try that, right? If you're dealing with 75 symptoms, OCD, anxiety, intrusive thoughts, what if thoughts, catastrophizing thoughts constantly, and you go live life with no direction, you're lost at sea, and there's no lighthouse, look what's going to happen. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to ruminate within 5 minutes. You're going to investigate, research, analyze. Did I say ruminate? You're going to ruminate, figure out. Did I say research? No. Yeah, I did. So I'm not going to say research again. And you're going to stay in that survival state and not move forward. We don't want to do that. So don't invite in things that'll keep you in that survival state. Don't invite in things that reaffirm that there is a problem that needs fixing, analyzing, figuring out. Right? So you got to build that leverage of indifference over time. Now just checking I have a little list. So devices, no. I talked about what I dealt with and I overcame it. Over time, it went away, gone forever. Right? Now it wouldn't even bother. And if it did, I'd invite it in. I wouldn't even care. Because I have so much history with it. This is the deal. This is why we need to go through this journey. And let it take as long as it needs to take, because you're building a experience history with it. You're learning. You're becoming friends with these symptoms. You're taking away the resistance. You're allowing it to do its thing. Yes, it's scary, but eventually it will not be scary anymore. And that's when you walk with confidence. 1,000% confidence. And that's when you pounce on it. You go against the grain. It becomes prime time opportunity to move forward, and you do move forward. And these alarms get turned off one at a time, and they go away. Freedom! But do you think they're going to go away if you get all these devices around? You know what they act like? They act like gasoline to the spark to the fire. You're going to keep being stuck, right? You're going to be that crack addict, reassurance junkie. You can't help it. The brain's going to be like, yes, 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 yes. Go, yeah. Use a device. We need to look for safety. We're in danger right now. We need safety, right? You're literally not going to be able to control. You're going to be like, fuck. I think 94% oxygen. Oh my god, right? And if you don't have the device and the guy's telling you, well, just get one of these devices. What's your oxygen level at? Oh my god. So I have to get one of these devices? It's Sunday. Nothing's open. Fuck. So I'm fucked. I could be dying right now. Is that what you're saying? No, probably not. No, well, maybe. Right? I say go get checked. Cross the T's, dot the I's. But then some people are going on and going saying, well, it could be, right? It could be that your heart is fucked. It could be you got a virus, right? None of the reasons why you have it could be this. It could be because you're having an aneurysm and you're going to fucking die, right? You go there for safety and you come back out even worse than before, and you got to wait till Monday to get that device for reassurance. So in between that time, you're going to bring that survival state up. Never mind 1,000, it's going to go up to 5,000, right? And you're just getting into the mind-body space, so you're not prepared for it, so you have a major setback, major delay, freak out. You're getting more symptoms. You're on top of this massive wave of fire with the gasoline mixture. It's a fire tornado, right? So, yeah, a bomb was dropped in your nervous system. You get more symptoms. It'll take you a couple weeks to get over that. Right? We don't need more delays. We got enough as it is. We got enough on our plates. So always think in your head, okay, well, should I be taking advice from somebody who's never dealt with any of this shit? Probably not. And some of the shit they're saying is making me more dysregulated. right? Work with people that have been through the stuff and that overcame. That's another thing. Not just people that have been through it and that have been managing it for 20 years and are miserable and going, oh my God, no, don't even, no, but this is different. I had it for 20 years. Yeah, nothing worked. Nothing worked. Did you do it consistently every day? No, because why would no, that doesn't make sense. That's why it didn't work, because you chose not to, you decided not to do it. You tapped out. You gave up. You decided not to show up for yourself. That's why it didn't work for you. All right, so don't listen to one of those type of people. Listen to a person that's motivating you to show up every day, be consistent, and has been through it and overcame, right? And actually experienced it. There you go. So there's my part for having air hunger, feeling like I had labor breathing. I couldn't get enough air. I thought I was having some sort of system malfunction, meltdown, mayday, mayday. My heart must be something wrong. I think there's an artery that's blocked. I'm not able to breathe. I'm going to die within 5 minutes. I dealt with that constantly. That was one of the reasons why I was in the hospital all the time. Aside from my gut issues, that was one of the big ones, right? And I built that leverage of indifference, and I stuck with my schedule every day, brought those symptoms with me eventually, and eventually they turned off, because they turned off as a consequence of me building that leverage of indifference and sticking to my schedule, changing the relationship to the symptoms. That's when they left. And I didn't even notice that they left. That's when you know you're fully allowing something, not allowing something to get rid of something. When you fully allow something, there's no strings attached. You let it be there while you're engaging in your routine throughout the day. Okie dokie, heard the chokey. Yep. Okie dokie. Let's go all the way up the list and give some shout outs and say hi to some people. The first time I recovered, I forgot everything. Amazing. Exactly. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Frankenstein. Maka. Hi, Helmut. This whole journey has completely helped me expand not just my capacities, but also my view on the world. Oh, big time. You're going through an awakening, and you're gonna get some superpowers. I'll tell you that much. All right, let's see. Invite the light. That up like a douchebag, rotary right. Well, you do your best, right? For me, I got checked as much as I could, and I would check again. And the thing is, you got to check and then be okay with what you checked, because for me, it wasn't enough. The brain doesn't care. If the God comes down to you and says, "Hey, listen, we checked everything. I invented your body. Look, you're good. You're healthy, dude. Actually, we found something, but look, I took it away because I'm God." I'd be like, okay, I believe you, right? 2 hours later, I'd be like, no, God missed something. No, God missed something. I don't know, whatever tools he's using up there, it's not going to cut it. Sorry. So you got to you got to come to a point where you're willing to be in limbo land without any answers and move forward anyway, and allow, with discomfort, no answers, no certainty. This is how you challenge yourself. Right, you're going to have the days. I tried training yesterday and today I can't walk. So dizzy, it's so hard to move. Gosh, but you know what? You do what you can where you're at. This is self-directed. You take the pillars, you apply them to yourself. I had days where I was dizzy and I was holding on to the walls, but I embraced it and I did it anyway. I still went for my fucking walks, right? I still did my visuals, even though I felt like I was drunk. Did them anyway, right? I built a leverage of indifference to the dizziness, to the triple PD, to the visual shit. And you know what? Sticking to the schedule no matter what, because that's what's going to happen, right? When it knows you got a bit of a routine, this is where the symptoms get louder. It doesn't want you to do this stuff. It figures that any sort of change to your routine is equal to danger. It's a risk it's not willing to take. So it's going to start screaming at you. So this is where you double down, right? And this is prime time. Do it anyway. Follow the schedule. This is your lifeline, right? Stick to it. What was my worst symptom? I had a bunch of them. The worst, I'd say food sensitivities. Yeah, food sensitivities and gut issues. And it took me the full 3 years, right? I couldn't even do anything about it for a year and a half. I had to let it be. I let it do its thing. I had to stay to my safe foods for a year and a half-ish. Then eventually I started challenging it. I still had flares, but then I used the flares to my advantage by dragging them out. The flares became my opportunities. And then I recovered. And it took me 3 years. Yeah. When you start to allow, right, you're literally opening that old program to express itself, to do its thing, right? And when you do exposure to something like a symptom, when you expose yourself to a symptom by allowing it, because allowing is another form of exposure, it's going to bring your survival state up. Because you're stressing yourself, right? You're going to be like this thing. Let's say this thing is scary. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to allow it to be there. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it, but I'm allowing it. It stresses you out. So that brings the survival state up. More alarms, more symptoms, right? So that's what we're doing every day, right? You're exposing yourself to something you don't normally expose yourself to, and you're going to allow it to express itself in all its ugly ways. It stresses you out. It scares the shit out of you. Right? That brings the survival state up. You get more alarms. That's how it works. That's how it works. Oh, please. Thank you, Anedian. Don't forget to like and subscribe, peeps. You know, if you just want to subscribe, that'd be great. And well, since you're there, you might as well, like it. And, leave when I go off, leave a comment. Leave a comment. Saudi. Oh, no, you're not. I went too early today. That's not your fault. I told everybody it's going on at 12, but I went earlier. I fucked it up. My bad. Okay, Crystal, hi. How's it going? Hey, Snezana Petrovic. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Yeah, our website, Whitney's starting to design it. It's so badass. It's gonna be massive. The biggest, right? It's gonna be like a big thing. Amazing, fun, good times. They already got 12 meditations on cue that they're working on that are going to be so fire. And then also some of the ones on YouTube are going to be on there without any ads. So that'll be, good to be able to watch them without ads. Yeah, so that's, a little good reminder. Exciting stuff happening, right? I'm going to push for like December launch. We'll be good. But yeah, till then, if you need a assistance with the pillars, join the membership. My classes are open still, right? Sam, she's closed. She's full. She might open up near the Christmas time, but for now, I'm open. I can help you out. Join it up, and there's videos you can watch. The pillars are there to support you, and any questions that you have, I'll be happy to answer them for you. Awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap her up. Today was a good topic. So make sure to watch Sam's video about air hunger if you're dealing with that, because she talks about the emotional load, right, and why it does that. And don't get sucked in to getting a device to check your oxygen levels, because that's not going to go well for you. Trust me. Been there, done that. Okay, guys. Love to love you. Get out there and get uncomfortable. Actually, get comfortable with the discomfort. right? Get comfortable with the discomfort and get discomfortable. Love you guys too. Love you. That's nice to say. Invite the light. Thank you for saying that. Because everybody, you should be proud of yourselves. You're doing the work. You're here. You're showing up. Love it. Lynn, it's 5 p.m. Love it. Where are you? 5 p.m. would be either in the UK or I'm going to say Ireland or California. Okay, guys, I'm wrapping her up. See